Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed singer, songwriter, producer, Sabrina Seidman, also known as just SEIDS. For more on SEIDS, you can read more about her right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of SEIDS.
Let's talk about compression. Compression evens out audio signals. You decide what is too loud by setting the threshold, and that is when the compressor will start working. Take a look of this horrible diagram I made of a wavelength. The red dotted line is where I set the threshold, meaning everything above that line is too loud and I want it to be compressed. Everything below will stay unprocessed. So if the threshold is at 0, nothing is too loud and nothing will be compressed. Once I start lowering the threshold, everything that passes that signal will be compressed. The ratio then determines how much you want to lower the loud parts. If it's set to 1:1, nothing will be changed. Higher ratio means more compression. Ratio won't work if you don't set the threshold. Release is how long you want the compressor to last. Attack is how aggressive you want the compression to be. Compression is going to change the sound, but compression should not affect the volume. You want the input gain to match the output gain. You level that out with the makeup gain. So if I turn this compressor off, it will be the same volume as it was before. Let me know if you have any other questions. I hope this helps. Like and follow for more tips.
Well, hello, Sabrina. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, and I'm doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you, and I'm so excited that the audience just got a sneak peek of your incredible talent. Sabrina, I want to know, where did you grow up and when did you realize that you had this gift of music?
I grew up in Connecticut, and I was singing like since I could speak. So yeah, and then I started songwriting like since I could write.
Wait, that's amazing. Do you remember like the first song you ever wrote?
Well, I mean, I have a song that I wrote in like 6th grade or like 5th grade that I like recorded and everything, and that I remember, and it's pretty silly.
Wait, we need to hear it right now.
Well, I could sing you a little bit. It was like, It's really embarrassing. It's like, this is a story about a girl. This is a legend that ruled her world. Perfect on the outside, haunted on the inside. Tears couldn't wash away her fears. Couldn't cover for all these sad years. It's pretty silly.
No.
My 13-year-old mind, I'm like, trauma.
Time out. That's like the theme song for an animated series on Disney. No, I'm not kidding. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty silly.
Listen, Sabrina, or dare I say SEIDS, now that we're friends, of course, I want to know as well, when did you realize that you could do this professionally? Was there like an aha moment for you?
I mean, it's always like a struggle. I didn't realize I was like gonna make money singing until I got a job singing. Like you don't really believe it until you get like the paycheck, right? So my first job like out of school where I got like a salary to sing was working on cruise ships. So that was pretty epic.
Wait, so were you one of like the headline vocalists? What were you doing?
Yeah, I was like the lounge singer,
What
like
cruise line?
The late night lounge singer. I was on Seabourn.
Awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
look, that's how a lot of people cut their teeth, you know what I mean? And just to be able to, I'm sure you dealt with lots of different types of audiences, whether it was one person in the house, 100 people, giving that opening night performance at Carnegie Hall every night, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I've played better gigs since then, but it was
obviously
fun.
And like, let's dive into it. Come on. You have obviously SEIDS gone beyond the cruise ship gig on the Seabourn. Talk to me about some of your favorite memories thus far in your career.
Well, I think right now I'm like really like living kind of like my dream. I was kind of telling you a little bit about it, but like I got into TikTok like recently, and I started posting on TikTok in January, which is really funny because that you guys reached out to me, because I'm assuming you didn't find me on TikTok. I don't even know where you found me, but like I'm really kind of like very popular on TikTok. Like I have 110,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, so like I don't have TikTok, but I can still go on and see. And when I saw your account, I was like, you're kind of like a superstar.
Well, I started doing music production, and like now I'm in like the music production world, and I'm like really like enjoying this part of my career, I guess, so much, because it's not as like egocentric as all of my other things. Like this is very much like building a music community and helping other people and inspiring other, especially women, to produce their own music and kind of like take control of their own artistry. And it's just been doing really well, and I'm so thrilled about it.
Well, I love that you've done doing that on TikTok. And I also love that that's what FENIX's North Star is. It's kind of like going to take the best of what TikTok is doing for music artists and having the supportive community the minute you log on. And also on top of that, Sides, I also love the fact that you and like many artists leaned into the more of the business aspect of their brand, because while we were all forced to be our own producers, our own recording, getting our own equipment, our own lighting. And so I'm curious to know, did you ever think that you'd be as into the production side of things?
No, this all started during COVID. So last summer when I was like stuck at home, I was just like scrolling through Facebook, and they were like, oh, learn how to produce a song in 30 days or whatever, like learn how to produce in 30 days. And I was like, this is dumb. Like I went to Berklee College of Music. I was singing for like 10 years. And I always thought like it was like really hard to produce your own music. I took that class and became obsessed with it. And now like it's kind of messed up. Like my grandfather died from COVID. Like COVID was such a it still is like shit show. And like, if it wasn't for COVID, I would never be in the position I am now. Like I would still be just like running to the gigs, and I'd be waking up one day and be like, 50 years old maybe, and just be like singing in a lounge still. And now like my career, it's like, it's so weird how life works that way.
No, the dichotomy of this time has been so crazy. I mean, I'm so sorry for the loss of your grandparent. My husband lost his best friend to COVID. And at the same time, on a creative level, as a director, I've been able to create and collaborate with artists all over the world because of this thing called Zoom. And frankly, a lot of the artists I've met have been through doing these interviews and just vibing with them. And, whether it's in Japan, Singapore, Florida, Los Angeles, Connecticut, Canada, it's an awful time. But for as artists, and when I'm hearing from you Sides, it's been a time to really take a beat and ask,
and
why
just
do
to
I
like
do?
learn something new and discover something about yourself that you didn't really know. Like if you had asked me 2 years ago, like, oh, you're going to be producing your own music and have 100,000 followers, like I would have laughed in your face. I would have been like, no. Like at that time I was working on my girl group, and I was like really into that, and we were supposed to like go on a bunch of cruise ships as like guest entertainers, and that was really where I was investing a lot of my money, a lot of my focus. And I was really depressed when that kind of didn't pan out. And now I'm on like this different path. And I'm just saying, like, I don't know, if someone's listening to this and they're going through a hard time, like you never know like what that hard time is gonna like sprout, like something different might happen that might actually be better. I don't want to say that my other life was like worse than this life, but like now I get to work in this room, like I don't have to leave this room. And I get to be creative every day. It's amazing.
Sides, look, you're talking to someone that you just touched, because that's exactly what I've been going through, frankly. I mean, not that this becomes, the Sides therapy hour, and I should Venmo you for the hour, session. But, I was a performer for 25 years, headline Carnegie Hall, did the sexy things with my twin brother, Anthony, performed all over the world, but I always wanted to be a director and a creator. And it took this time for me to be still in my apartment and to just write down what my dreams were. And all of a sudden, just by writing it down and just doing it with abandon and unapologetic fervency, I totally relate to you Sides. And I also love that your North Star, in addition to just doing you unapologetically, is that you're probably thinking about young Sides out there, the young girls out there who are also those hashtag badass boss ladies. And you're just doing the thing, and by showing them and not telling them, but showing them by doing it, it's inspirational.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like, it really hits a moment, because you can get caught up with social media really easily, like the numbers
comparing.
and
Yeah.
the numbers are like, oh, this video didn't perform well, or oh, I looked dumb here, or what, someone said something mean. But then I'll get a comment, a message, like a private message from a girl that's 13, 12, 14, even in their like 40s, 50s. And they're like, thank you for like opening this door for me and telling me that I can do this. And like, you've really inspired me. And those are the moments that like, you like are priceless, you know, like that commercial, priceless. Like those are the moments that are like, damn, like, you know, because all we really have in our lifetime is to like, is this, you know. And if I can like inspire one other person or help one other person to be their best selves, like that is means a lot to me.
You know, I could speak with you forever, Sides, but listen, so much of your music and what we're talking about here reminds me of something that I try to do and remember every day that you are speaking to, that I know you're about. It's that Maya Angelou quote: people aren't going to remember what you did, they're going to remember how you made them feel. And I
Definitely.
think about all those girls out there on those school buses wanting to just maybe write their own bop about, you know, the overdramatic life of a teenager like you did. But you know what? God bless them, because you're proof that if you keep going, if you do those gigs maybe at times that you don't want to do, but you're doing and working on your craft, you will become what you've become. But also, it's just the beginning for you. But I know you know that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I feel like you can't really look too far into the future. If there's anything I learned, like, you know, you can't look too far into the future, you know, like we don't know what's going to happen. So just like day by day, you know, I have my short-term goals, and then every single time I reach that goal, I make a new short-term goal, and we'll see.
Both sides, I think that's a great piece of advice, because especially in this world where we're forced to kind of compare ourselves, to not maybe take a step back at comparing. And like you said, don't get overwhelmed with the big goal. Little
Yeah,
steps. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
exactly. It really is. And just be patient, you know, it's not going to happen overnight.
Sides, you're inspirational. I could talk to you
Thank you.
forever. Listen, I want to let the audience know, for more on the incredible Sabrina, or dare I say, Sides, you can read more about her right below this video. Sides, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to keeping in touch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.